The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of the staff and management of Salem Media of Hawaii.
Aloha and welcome to Be Fit for Health. This is Bianca, your host. It's another great day to celebrate our health and wellness. And you know, it's been almost a full year for me with Salem, and we're so excited to kind of end the season with the, we had a lot of doctors come on, we had a lot of, professionals in the health industry come on, talk about different modalities and things that you can do to get to a better place when it comes to your health. If you have an illness, what doctors do you go see? What are your options to succeed in your regimen, in your health and wellness? Now, here's another point of view. I'm going to put on my trainer's hat and my nutritional hat, and I'm going to interview two individuals today that, had an experience in their lives where, life took over. They gained some weight and they had an unhealthy lifestyle to a certain point. And I think we all have had that struggle. But, these guys, one of them was in the limelight for about 40 plus years in the music industry. He was a DJ in a lot of these clubs that we've all went to in our heydays, and then he's also, is on radio personality. And I'm so honored and so blessed to have this man in my studio to be interviewed, because I don't think he's done too many interviews when it comes to something personal as to getting himself into shape, getting himself into a healthy regime. I mean, this person, like I said, when I say he's been around. He was a rock star lifestyle for a long time, and a lot of people know him and a lot of people adore him. James Cole in the mix, 107.9. This guy is legit when it comes to doing DJing, and there's no one better in this town when it comes to knowing how to mix your music. But he needs my help a little bit, just a little bit of advice, but he's got some advice for all of you, because all of you guys got excuses. New Year's resolutioners, people who are trying to get that change to lose a little bit of weight. But guess what, guys? He's going to come here to tell you guys that this is about a lifestyle. This is about changing your mind, making sure it's right. And if he can do it, I think anybody can do it. James, welcome to my show.
Yay! What an intro. That was kind of cool.
No, man, you're legit. I did some, stalking on you online and some other stuff, and talk to people, and you're really well respected in the community when it comes to what you do. And but that lifestyle is not an easy lifestyle. So tell me a little bit in a short minute about 40 something years of your career.
I only know how to do one thing, and that's basically what it is. I've always been a DJ. I started in 1982 at 14 years old. I pretty much did the whole gamut of every nightclub, and working on a cruise ship and traveling internationally and on the radio and mix shows and all that kind of stuff. To me, it's a typical DJ life.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it was. And as far as the health aspects of it, once I woke up and I figured that we would drink.
Oh my God, yeah, the calories,
remember
the alcohol, the junk food, the fast food.
The clubs were 9 p.m. to 4 a.m.
Yeah.
6-7 days a week. Yeah. I would drink that long. Then we go to eggs and things.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm just saying.
The good old days of the waves and the pink Cadillacs.
Exactly.
And oh my gosh. I mean, because you've been around since the good era of clubbing and the great era of music with the 70s, 80s, and then you got the 90s mix, and then you had all this popping and funk music, and oh my God, it was great. And trance music.
The rave was wonderful.
The rave was wonderful. So the closing of the wave was a sadness to a lot of us, club goers back in the day, and there's nothing else out there like it. So now you're here in radio doing this, and what it's like compared to...
Well, I'm asleep at 9 o'clock now, and I'm up at 6 a.m. No, it's night and day. The big thing for me is, even back in '85 when I was dropping off mixtapes, I've always had my... I was always kind of checking it out. I was always in the mix with the radio. But then one day, I was watching this one cat do what they call sweepers and imaging and production. I was watching him, and I was just a little mixer dude, just watching him do it. I was like, I can do that.
Yeah.
Where's that voice at? And I asked the program director at the time, Alan Oda. He's like, the voice comes in on this reel to reel. You can put it on a DAT or whatever and show me what you got, James. Well, I showed him and took the guy's job, and the rest is history. I mean, that was basically it. That was my first, and I remember I said, okay, I want you to be my music director, and I want you to do my imaging, and I need you here at 9 a.m. I was like, 9 a.m. in the morning?
Oh yeah, because you're doing the opposite.
It was my very first job ever in daytime, and I was 22, 23 at the time.
You were still a baby though.
That was, yeah, I was still a baby, but at the time, it was like, I remember getting up, I was like, wow, there's more people up in the daytime, and it is so bright. Anyway, so
we didn't know you were Count Dracula. Huh? No, it's crazy. The lifestyle that you live was the lifestyle of literally of a rock star. You were out every night. I mean, Flash is actually a high school classmate of mine, and I remember he used to promote the Wave a lot, and I used to ask him, like, how are you able to sustain a healthy body? Because your body tears down when you're doing this, and you guys were young at the time, but now that we're all older, there's no way you can sustain that level of stress in the system.
There's no way possible.
You would get deathly sick.
Well, we're watching it happen before our eyes. A lot of our friends are passing, and it's exactly because of the crazy lifestyle and not putting any good food in you.
So obviously the show's about health and wellness, and and it's crazy to say that you took the opposite steps. What was that trigger that made you realize that you're not going in the right path?
I got up to 305 pounds.
Ooh.
I was a big boy. And, before that, I didn't realize that you can't eat, you can't eat everything, especially garbage food, poison food, GMO food. You can't eat that all the time. And drinking soda, you just can't do it. You're going to get you big. Anyways, the big thing that happened to me is my back used to go out all the time.
Huh.
And one day my back was out, and it was on the back, and I couldn't get anywhere. I remember it was so bad one day, I had, because I had kids, the whole family was upstairs. I had to go to the restroom, but my back was hurting so bad, I couldn't go to the restroom.
Oh no, yeah.
And I'm yelling for people to come down to help me, and there's no help. I'm thinking, I'm getting ready to release all over myself. I'm just like, oh my God. So
That's funny, but
no, but seriously, I crawled to the bath, to the toilet, and then when I finally got to the toilet, I was like, okay, I'm here. But then I was like, how the hell am I gonna get up?
Yeah.
I couldn't get up. Anyways,
Gosh.
So that was the big
accumulating,
thing.
and that's also really real.
No, that
experience,
was
yeah.
One. Okay, I can handle it. I can I can do it all over myself. But then I say, what if there was a fire?
Yeah.
How
are you gonna get out?
I couldn't even save my family. So that was the thing that went.
Yeah, this is
James, you got to do something.
Yeah.
So what was very lucky was my sister. She lives in New York. She's a nutritionist.
Good.
And I called her one day, and I told her what was going on. She goes, "Look, I know your ass ain't gonna read nothing. Watch this video. It's not trying to sell you anything. It's not trying to do. It's just gonna lay out some facts, and you just
do it.
You have nothing else to do, James. You're laying on your back.
Mm.
All right. So I watched it, called Food Matters. And as I'm watching this documentary, my body just went ding, 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 ding. Everything was lighting off in my brain. Like, this makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
And I mean, the very next day, I was trying to get my family to watch it. They were just like, Dad, please. But the very next day, I was done. I went inside the cupboards. Everything was gone. I was like, this is all garbage. This is all sugar. I got rid of everything.
Yeah.
And what was great about it, the wife at the time, she was on board. So it was an easy transition because she watched it and she understood, and we cleaned it up.
So that was a good example also for your kids to see that this was something that can't happen.
They still do it to this day. They'd rather go to Down to Earth than go to the fast food joints.
Got it. So let me ask you this. So how old were you when you actually made this conversion from this lifestyle to the next?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. Maybe 40.
Okay, so you weren't.
Yeah, right around 40, maybe 41, 42. I want to say 40. How old was I in 2012? I don't even
you're
know.
42.
It was 2012 when everything went off. By the time it was 2013. I was trying to get under 200, but I got down to 204.
So you lost over 100 pounds.
I lost
in 1
over
year?
100 pounds in 1 year. Yeah.
Wow.
And the right way, because there's a whole lot of wrong way to do that, from what I understand.
So describe to me what you would do. Like,
Easy peasy. There was no more garbage. There was no more soda. There was no more junk food. Everything was organic. And and I have to say this: I did a mini cleanse,
Okay.
because your body has, after eating all these just garbage food, it's literally poison in your body.
Yeah, it's
So
toxic.
you had to detox. So I detoxed a little bit with the lemonade diet and that kind of thing, and I did that for about 17 days. And then when I went back to eating solid food, it was all organic, and then my portions were smaller. And because I was detoxed, my body wasn't craving all the nastiness that I was always craving.
Yeah.
And the white rice was done. And now when I eat brown rice, I can't eat white rice now. I mean, I can when I have my adobo, but for the most part, I mean, you can't have adobo with brown rice.
No,
Come on,
it's not the same
I'm half
thing.
Filipino, so
Yeah.
I don't want my grandmother to. No. Anyway, so all those bad things, you just don't crave anymore.
No, it is a process of elimination in your system. And what did they say? As one of my psychologists guessed said, it's 66 days. But I thought, after a period of 2 weeks, a physicist was telling me, if you stop sugar completely, like from everything, your brain starts to function better, your body starts to function better, and then you realize that the sugar was actually poisoning your system
Absolutely,
slowly.
100%. I believe this 100. The vegan way and the vegetarian way is definitely the way. There's no doubt about it. I'm not that strong to do that, but I don't eat, like, let's just say I used to eat this much meat. Now I eat this much meat, and when I do eat meat, it's high grade meat.
Are you able to do any type of exercise?
Oh, that was very important. At that time, when I was on a mission, I got rid of the garbage. I started eating all organic, and surprisingly, the food, there was no more heaps of food. The food was, a normal portion size, and I stopped drinking for a long time too. The drinking wasn't helping, and then I started walking. I lived in Makakilo at the time, so I'd walk up the hill to the top and work out a little bit at the little park, and I did that for 4 or 5 days a week, and I was tripping, because I remember I had these shorts that I would always wear, and then I put them on, and it was just like the Jared dude. I mean, not to use him as an example, but I put it on, and it was like this much.
So your body was
this much.
showing the video.
It was gone. I was tripping.
It's like a foot then, like a foot.
It was much longer than a foot. Trust and believe. It was crazy.
Wow. So your body responded. So it's not like your body can't, folks. And just letting you know, with this type of experience that he's having, your body can lose when you have that much weight to lose. It's easier to lose a lot of weight initially, but then when you get down to the last 20 pounds, what happened then?
I hit a wall. I definitely hit a wall. And was I getting frustrated? No, I was quite happy. I mean, because I lost 100 pounds. I was feeling great.
Right.
I got to sit on the airplane, and I didn't feel like I was like, I mean,
Yeah.
one of the most rewarding things is when my daughter would sit on my lap, on my tummy when I'm laying down. She, oh, daddy,
Yeah.
I can feel your ribs. I mean, little
Yeah.
things like that. I was
Yeah.
just like, this is crazy. This is wonderful.
So give me a typical day's food, like, because I know the audience is going to want to know, like, how did he do it? Like, so what would you eat when you're starting of your diet? Like, what was your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and what time was it their last meal? And what time was your first meal?
I can try to remember. I mean, I don't stick to it as much as I did before, but in the very beginning, yeah, it was easy. I had I was all about the acai bowl, so I would have an acai bowl for, and it was packed, an acai bowl for lunch. Breakfast. Easy. It was 2 eggs scrambled and to make an omelet with heapings of spinach, heapings of tomatoes, and very little cheese and hot sauce. Every now and then I would have a little bit of carbs, but in the very, very beginning, I knew that the carbs, I had to back up off the carbs a little while, and start to introduce that a little bit. And then for dinner, I ate whatever I wanted for dinner, all organic and small portions, but I tried not to eat past 6. And, that was a real important thing for me, because I started realizing If you eat dinner at 7 or 8 and you go to sleep at 9,
your body can't simulate it as well.
The only time your body is fixing itself, the only time your body has time to fix itself is when you're sleeping. And if you're sleeping with a tummy full of food, your body's digesting and you never get fixed, and that's why you get sick.
Yeah, and that's funny because a nutritionist that I brought on, she's a world-renowned nutritionist. She said the same thing. She said to me that it's better that you give your body 3 hours prior to sleeping. And I asked her why. Is there sleep not there? And she said, no, it's just that your body basically has to go through these processes, and it makes sense because at between 10 to 12 your body heals a certain organ, and then from 12 to 3 it heals a certain group, and it needs that time. That's why you need to sleep 7 to 8 hours.
It was so wonderful. I don't remember where I learned it from, but it was like when you go to sleep, whatever, hopefully you have some nutrients in your body,
right?
And you're not depleted because you've been eating junk food. But if you have some good nutrients in your body, when you go to sleep, that's when your body goes, okay, he's getting ready to get sick here, here, and here. Okay, let's take these nutrients and go pop, pop, pop.
Right.
Let's hopefully
delegates.
he doesn't fall apart.
Yeah.
But if you're full of food, you never get to fix yourself.
Yeah, it does. It's going to take priority. It's always going to take digestion as a priority.
And I used to get sick a lot. Granted, I used to do a lot of drugs back in the day, and that's what I thought it was too. But I would get sick at least 3-4 times a year.
Right.
It was just normal.
Your body was so run down that you never gave it any time for it to recuperate.
I'm never sick.
Yeah.
Now, since 2013, I don't get sick. And when I do get sick, it's sick.
Yeah.
Like your body goes, okay, listen.
Yeah.
Your body works great, and we're going to flush all this, whatever it is now. You're down, and then, okay, come on.
I don't even know how you're able to keep the weight off because you've got an incredible chef as your other half.
Are you kidding me?
Your better half at home making you great food.
I'm
all the
30.
time.
I'm 30 pounds heavier right now, and does it bother me? Yeah, but is it real bad? It's the wine that's really it's hurting.
Yeah,
I can't put that wine down.
You and your other half have a great lifestyle, man. I got good food and good drinks. But the whole thing at some point is finding the balance in life because you were off balance so much,
Big time.
You had to bring it down to a level where
way down.
Quality of life is there. You can still enjoy your food, but you're not eating the same type of food. Yeah,
nowhere near it, and I can't. I don't want to.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't make you feel good.
I love chocolate, but if I can't have a regular piece of chocolate, you taste it. It's like you can taste it. It's just chemicals. You got to get a real good piece of. Well, James, why do you go over there and everything's so expensive? Listen, I'm worth it.
Yeah.
You don't see me going to the doctor every day now, do you? I'm not pushing needles in my arm. I'm not taking pills every day. I'm 53 olive. It's because of the food. But it is. It's the food, trust and believe. See, you got me on a roll now.
You're such a TJ, man, I swear. He's talking like he's got his own show going.
Sorry, my bad.
I'm just going to shush and let him go. No, but it's true. So you have your breakfast with and that sounds amazing to me. So for the rest of the time, I mean, you got to change it up. And so it took you how long before you actually saw the weight start to drop with this new format?
I don't know. And because I was always that dude that I would never keep track like that. I hated that because you'd always kind of be disappointed. So I tried not to check. So if I did check, I probably checked, several months after, at least 2 or 3. I'm not that dude to go every day, look, because you would always get disappointed because I've been on that roller coaster before. So it kind of trained my brain not to always check. So if you're asking me when, I really don't know. I want to say it had to be a few months until I went, whoa.
Something's happening.
The notches on my belt
are gone, yeah.
I'm like, well, I need to get a new belt. The most wonderful thing was I need to buy all new clothes.
Yeah, hopefully you had money for that.
All new clothes. Everything was looked like my daddy was wearing them.
Yeah.
I mean, it was crazy.
No, what's really truth is, as a personal trainer and nutritionist, I always tell my clients, it'll take 3 months for you to notice that you're starting to make a change. It'll take 6 months for others to notice that you've made a change. It's kind of one of those things where it takes about that long. Because think about it. It took you 40 plus years for you to have that junk food lifestyle and drinking and all that good stuff. So in a matter of 1 year, you flipped your body's so resilient. People don't realize
your body is wonderful.
Yeah, it's a self-healing mechanism that
is.
can actually do wonders if you give it the right stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah. I know. I mean, I am always in awe of people like you who've gone through something so major, and you have clients that are out there that pick and choose and complain and, grumble about working out, and they've got to lose 20 pounds. And I'm looking at them going, you can do this. It's easy to do. You just got to follow this regimen. And yet you just did it on your own. And it's
I did it because of my family. When you have a family and you're looking, you can't provide, you can't protect them. I mean, that something goes off in your brain as a man. So wasn't just me.
Yeah.
I had a little unit to go.
Yeah, and thank God you realize that, because unfortunately there are people out there that are so overweight and unhealthy they die young.
I ain't never going back. I'm getting heavier now. I'm starting to get worried, so I have to. I got to adjust a little bit.
It will do that from time to time.
Yes, it does.
It's the holiday season, so any new goal set for yourself for next year?
Absolutely. We're actually going to tie the knot. We were actually supposed to tie the knot a couple of months ago, but we're going to attempt to do it again next year at the same time. So we're both kind of in the same boat. We want to drop a good 30, 40 pounds.
Yeah, man, you got pictures to take.
Well, that's what she says.
Well,
I just want to be comfortable in that suit.
and what are you going to do different this coming year versus this past couple of years that you've been off the track?
Oh, I got to put the alcohol down a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. When the DJ gigs start to come back, I like to drink my wine, and I know if I drink the wine and I don't exercise, it definitely starts to real quick.
Yeah.
So I know my body now. So it's like, dude,
so
put it down and walk.
Maybe you can have like half a glass.
No, I can't do it. No.
So you have to do all turkey?
Yeah, no. I got to, no. When I drink, I drink. And when I stop, I stop.
Okay.
And,
so you're the all or nothing guy.
Yeah, kind of, sort of, yeah.
Well, that's kind of good, because at least you get to your goals faster than
when it comes
else.
to certain things.
Yeah.
When it comes to certain things.
Well, I think you're going to do exceptionally well. I think you got the right formula. And plus you have your sister who's a nutritionist that you can always bounce off thoughts from. I mean, you've got that expertise on your corner. I mean, you also have me, which is, if you ever want to pick my brain, I'll offer my services for free if you guys need some advice.
I understand. I actually wanted to do what you did. When I totally was in it, I was like, it was like DJing. I wanted to share the music with everybody.
Yeah.
When I finally learned about the food and the health, I want to share it with everybody. I want to be a health coach. I want to go work on a farm. I was all about that. That dissipated real quick, but I did.
It's a natural high when you see the success happen from people to people. It's a wonderful feeling.
When in the thick of it, when I was down to 205, and I was just tripping because I really started to think about what was going on, and I hadn't felt that good since I was 12.
Yeah.
It was insane because I was just. And then when I went to sleep, I was gone. There was no, I'm gone. I'm sleeping. It's good.
But you know what? That's kind of another thing too. If you can't get proper sleep, you can't recover. You can't heal. By the way, you can't lose weight either if you're not getting sleep.
Absolutely. And when I've realized that, how important sleep was, because I was always that
I can do 2 hours.
I can do 2 hours. Well, you're a fool. You know that's stupid. But you don't know that. You don't know that when you don't know.
when you're young, you don't know that either.
Yeah. No.
A lot of these young guys are thinking, I can get off. Who wants to sleep, right?
Now it's like, I did 8 hours of sleep. Yeah.
Right?
Which
Isn't
is kind of hard at 53. If I get 6 hours, I'm straight.
No, it's crucial to dieting, guys. It's crucial to, when I say dieting, it's a lifestyle. You have to pick your stuff. I mean, you stopped going out late at night. You stopped drinking. You stopped all this stuff. You have to choose the better quality of life, and it's a lifestyle change. And I think, like I always say, you can change it little bit by little bit, or you can do a cold turkey like James did here, because it does take commitment.
And I slip all the time, trust and believe.
And that's okay to do that. But that's life, right?
Yeah, and I know. So as long as I'm aware, the moment I give up, I'm going to be in trouble.
Well, it's important to feel good. I think it's not even a matter of, at a certain point in age, it's not a matter of looking good. And really, you want to look good, but it's more about the way you feel.
Yeah, 100%. I believe that 100%. Yeah.
You can't do your activities and enjoy your day, even at work. I mean, you can't even work because you're so tired, or your brain is done after 5 hours of working.
I just had a big old plate of food. And it wasn't the best food in the world. And I knew it wasn't the best food in the world. But I ate it. I'm just so sluggish now. I'm tired.
I can't tell. You're kind of talking like you're 100 miles per hour on caffeine.
I'm trying to tell you. But when I eat my good food from down to earth, I can eat this much and I feel great.
Right.
It's crazy.
It's what your body can simulate. And because it's working a little harder now to break that
I
food
want to go
down,
to sleep.
it's saying, go to sleep. So your stress levels are a little bit higher than it would be normally if you're eating something more natural to your system. But it's okay. Listen, once in a while, it's a holiday season. Give yourself that break, right? You can eat what you need to eat, but then you know that the fun has to stop somewhere. And whether it's once a week you can do it, or you can do it, for a season, but you have to get back on the bus.
The goal for 2021 is just to become a weekend warrior.
Which means which side? The weekend warrior of doing good food, or the weekend warrior of doing bad food?
Of being bad.
Okay.
Only be bad on the weekend if need be.
Right.
The drinking a bottle of wine on the school night just don't work no more.
No, it's not. And it gets worse as you get older, so that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, James, you're still on 107.9 here at Salem Media.
Yeah, I have to go back there now.
And your shows are at what time to what time?
Monday through Friday, 3 to 7.
3 to 7. Listen, guys, if you want to hear some good music, this is the guy you want to listen to. He, like I said, there's no one else like him on the island. He is the best that I know of. So, like I said, thank you so much, James, for coming on and sharing your story with me. It's personal. I know not everybody wants to talk about stuff that they've gone through, but I appreciate you. I know you're an open book, and your whole motive is to help people realize that they've got potential to do what you've done.
You're wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, guys, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, I have a wonderful new guest that wants to share her story too, and I'm excited about that. So hang in there.
You don't need to be a member of the gym to get.
And we're back. All right, guys, thank you for hanging in there. This is just a really interesting show. We're discussing about, basically taking ownership of your health and wellness. And, a lot of us who have put on some weight over the years and realize that, we're 30 pounds overweight, 40 pounds overweight. Well, the two guests that I have on today are not your average people. These people are movers and shakers in their industry. We had James Cole on just recently, and he lived a lifestyle of a rock star. He was out there doing all sorts of naughty things out there that you shouldn't be doing when it comes to drinking and eating fast foods and staying up till wee hours of the morning, and that plays havoc on your body no matter who you are. And the fact that he took his system and turned it around in 1 year and lost 100 pounds is amazing to me, because he didn't have a trainer, he didn't have a full-on nutritionist, he had a sister that helped him, but most of it was on him, and it was a lifestyle change. And if he could do it, you can do it. Today, continuing, we have another incredible guest, and she is another mover and shaker. When I say that, this woman doesn't sit down. She's sitting down now because she's in the studio with me, but she's someone that is constantly moving. She's eating and moving, typing and eating and moving. I mean, I swear to God, I've known her for about a year, and I don't think I've ever seen her really slow down. She has a family to take care of, so she's driving and eating and moving. I think you guys got my point.
You make me sound like a great multitasker.
That's my point. Gina Crabtree is one of the best multitasking persons I've ever met in my life. And if I could be a little bit like her, I would be successful like her. She's got experience in account executive with medical devices as well as radio, and she's been doing this for quite a bit of time, at least about 20 years or so. And she's got a degree in BA in communications, and she's obviously, she's not shy like me either. She's she likes to talk.
I do. Thank you for having me on, by the way.
Welcome to the Be Fit for Health show.
Thank you.
All right, so now that we got all that good stuff out of the way, Gina, you've been doing this for a long time, and I just started in the radio industry. So you've been around this industry for a while, and you've seen a lot of things, and you know that like in radio and like in any other type of a fast-paced entertainment industry, a lot of people don't really have a good lifestyle.
No, we don't. I remember when I started in radio, I was, we don't need to count, but about 21, 22, fresh out of college,
nice.
Right? And it was a rap format, so they wanted us out in the clubs. I probably had a lifestyle like James Cole's, a little bit, with wee hours of the morning and not a lot of time for yourself, with sales and full-time job during the day,
Oh, yeah.
and then staying out and dealing with clients until 2 or 3 in the morning,
Oh.
and doing it all over again.
Oh.
And now that I'm back in this industry and obviously working with different clients, and the difference in clientele helps with my little more like a 8 to 6 type of an hour schedule. It's still very fast-paced, deadline-oriented. You have to keep going so that you are providing information for the public.
That's why you have like an injection attached to your arm with caffeine,
Yes.
right? The caffeine is just kind of going through all day, so they keeps you going like
That
Energizer Bunny.
5-hour energy was fabulous stuff
Oh
for a while.
my God, that's another terrible thing. But yeah, we'll talk about that later off camera. So you, as a radio personality out there working with different modalities in this business, you also were a medical device salesperson. So what's that lifestyle like comparison to the radio? Was it the same type of motto? You got to go out and entertain and...
Oh yes, we did that. We called it training, though.
Oh,
it was called training. But yes, it was. I was not an orthopedic rep where some of them have to be on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's emergent care. I did have scheduled surgeries that I would watch over.
Oh.
So, but first case is 7:30 in the morning. Sometimes last cases would end at 8 p.m.
Oh yeah.
A lot of travel. I mean, we would go weeks at a time for courses to train, and then courses for the physicians to train, and then award ceremonies. There was a lot of back and forth. So I think I didn't realize what time zone I was in for about a year.
So that's havoc on your system right there.
Yes, very much so.
But then you're also drinking, you're also eating.
At the best restaurants.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably really, really yummy places
I
that
miss
have a
the
lot
lifestyle.
of butter,
Yes.
a lot of butter, a lot of sugar, a lot of good stuff that makes it taste good.
Yeah.
So how much weight did you put on during your years of sales?
Oh, goodness. Well, I think I realized at the peak of my pregnancy, which of course impacts weight as well, but I was at the top of my weight, 240 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah. So almost 90 pounds heavier than I am right now. Just from working in the restaurant industry, from being up late hours and going through that drive-through when you're done at 2 in the morning from whatever club you're coming out of, and then going into sales and having to, pick at things that are there in the cafeteria, and then going through more drive-throughs, and then eating at these 5-star restaurants because the company will pay for it.
Right.
So yes, it was a lot. So I decided when baby was about 2 to do something about it, because I couldn't use the baby weight anymore. The kid was 2. So I really thought that my excuse just wasn't worth it anymore.
But it does take about 6 months for your hormones to kind of balance that after having a baby?
Yeah, I was told that I couldn't do anything strenuous, which I didn't for 2 years.
Oh, so your hormones were really balanced.
Yes,
by then,
they were very balanced.
hopefully.
I had no excuses left.
Oh, I gotcha.
None.
So what was the protocol that you decided to follow to get you back into at least get you started on this journey of losing the 90 pounds?
Yeah, so I was too embarrassed to go to the gym. So
Sure.
I did a Weight Watchers app so that
Okay.
I could start working on portion control, working through the program as a support system, because I am obviously a social creature.
Yeah.
So the more that we can build each other up, and there are other people going through the same thing,
Yeah.
that made it easier to make lifestyle changes that would stick, right? Because everyone else is doing this. Some had started that day, some have been doing it for 10 years. So just like you learn in sales from all the veterans that have been in the industry, I learned from people where the program had worked. So it gave me some hope. And then I did a lot of Zumba and dancing and moving and shaking in my living room,
Right.
because I was waiting to be a little bit more fit before gym people would see me and judge, right? I felt like it was a very big judgment zone for a while.
That's kind of a normal for most people. That it's funny, when I've been in the gym industry for so long, that when I'm about to, let's say, hire somebody or bring on somebody as a new member, they're like, well, I kind of want to get into shape first before I can join, or I want to get into shape first before I sign up with you as a trainer. I'm like, what are you talking about?
It's a double-edged sword,
I'm
though.
like, what do you know that
Yeah.
you're going to be able to do this on your own? Because a lot of concerns for me as a trainer, that I didn't talk to James about this, is that when you're that heavy, there are medical conditions that we need to be aware of. And you just having a baby, the first thing that would be like red flag for me is your hormones, making sure that you've supported that nutritiously, and then also you know, that you don't overly exert yourself initially because your joints aren't quite ready for that support. So I would say to you, okay, well, you need to start with me regardless. You know, let's do something that economically you can afford, so at least I can write a program designed for you that you can support. But what I do love is the fact that you started out, I think, intuitively and intelligently, because you do have a medical understanding of things, is that you knew that dancing, although it's not like weight training, it was cardiovascular, which got the circulation going and get things moving.
Yeah, I needed probably about a 45 to 60 minute routine when I was that heavy to try to really work off a lot of the bulk of it. So I did Weight Watchers and Zumba in my house for probably up until like the 40-50 pound mark that I had lost.
Oh, that's phenomenal. How long did it take you to do that?
I think that was the first 9 months.
That's amazing to me.
It was not quick, but when I look back at it, it was quick, right? So, and then I decided maybe now I'm ready to go do Zumba in a gym. Like, I was not drastic and adventurous, but it was just that next step, right?
Yeah.
So my son actually grew up in the kids club of 24-hour fitness. So he knows every single adult care person that was there. He is very akamai to everywhere to walk and get to the locker room. He was good.
Yeah, he knew everything. He was part of the employees there.
Yes.
He was probably directing everybody. You know what's crazy is that your weight loss was actually right on to when I was just saying that with the heavier you are, the faster you can lose. It's just the last 20 pounds is the hardest for most people to lose, because your body uses that as a security for emergencies. Like, just
is that what it's for?
Yeah, it's like your body thinks, okay, you've lost all this weight, we're losing energy, we're losing that support system, so we're going to hold on to this a little bit. Like, it's like your most stickiest fat that you may have in your body. So I always tell people the visceral fat is the hardest to lose, because that's the one that your body may think is needs for insulin, or, you know, heat generating, or whatever it may be. But I always feel like the 20 pounds is where you definitely need support from a professional, because that's where diet becomes more specific, the way you train becomes more specific. You know, that's where you kind of help people to understand that sleep and, you know, snacking and all those things are not good for your weight loss regimen anymore, because you probably could get away with that the first 40 or 50 pounds, snacking and all that good stuff. But the last 20 pounds or 25 pounds, you're not allowed. That's when you have to go cold turkey and really be strict with your program.
Yeah, and I actually, when I started at the gym, I did a lot of group X classes, but realized I had actually, from a fitness level, kind of ventured out of that and gotten more advanced. So I did hire a trainer for that last, like, little bit. I think I did another 20 pounds just on my own using group X and the support system of the girls that were there, the coaches, you know, there were a lot of fun people I met through all of these classes. But, you know, I did hire a trainer for a year. Very expensive, you guys.
Yeah, because we have to go through a lot of schooling.
But you're good at what you do, and I needed that extra push. He showed me a lot about my body and what I could and couldn't do. I can't believe some of the things that I can actually physically do at this age, and probably could never have tried to do that in high school or college.
Yeah, you actually get stronger and better when you get older, you know.
Oh, thank goodness.
No, because it's not that, because your body really doesn't start maturing until you're 20ish or so. Your growth hormone and all that good stuff stops at 25, but your actual aging of the cells don't start till you're like maybe 20ish or so. It's like this clock thing that kicks in. But the beauty of the body and the development, even Arnold Schwarzenegger said, I didn't look good until after 10 years of bodybuilding. It took me that long for my muscles to mature, for my muscles to have the strength. It's a pattern of creating between the brain and the body system. And so if you start training, let's say at age 20, by the time you're 30 is when you actually get your full capacity. It just takes some time. So even when older people start working out, let's say you're 50 or 60 years old and you go back into the gym, there are some pictures or some videos of this older woman. She is African American. She didn't start working out until she was 65. She competed at 80.
I think I've seen that.
Yeah.
Went viral, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe she's one person out of, I don't know how, but I gotta tell you, her body looks better than mine, and I'm a trainer, and I'm 50. So, I mean, it's crazy to see this, but I know that age isn't the factor.
No.
And if you do the right thing, your body can look like a sculpture. I mean, it really can. It really is about diet, lifestyle. And your lifestyle right now is, I don't know, I maybe I shouldn't use it as an example because you're crazy in your schedule, but you figured some things out though, where you're able to do a better job with your weight and your energy.
Yeah, I feel like every time I change a profession, right, you have to alter your exercise schedule, how you're eating, when you can eat, right? Because every job is different. So outside of medical sales, since I've joined, the radio industry again, I do have a little bit of time, more so in the morning. Cases don't start at 7:30 anymore.
Right.
I can be in at the office a little bit later. So I make sure I work out at least 15 to 20 minutes a day, doing some kind of strength training where it's body resistance.
Yeah.
I don't have any equipment at home.
Right.
I never really have. But so I'm still into the dance mode, into the bar and the Pilates and that type of strengthening. I do notice a difference after doing that for about a month and a half now.
Yeah.
With the gyms closed, obviously, this has been a very difficult year. I'm typically in kickboxing, and you'll find me at UFC gym. But unfortunately, with all that being a little harder to get to, I just make no excuses. I run upstairs, I put on my little 15, 20-minute workout. I make better choices with my foods. Even 7-Eleven has fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, a lot of places are starting to get with the program. I realize that you are able to get options of, especially if you're very much on a, let's say, vegan diet, you can't have protein, so you have to find something. And I think Starbucks had something where they had like a vegan option, which is really interesting because back 15 years ago,
Oh, that never would have happened.
no, organic, it was like you really had to go to specific places. Now organic is in Safeway and all these, I mean, I know I'm giving names out there, but I'm serious, it's in all these grocery stores.
Yeah.
Even in some organics, you'll find maybe even a 7-Eleven. I mean,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
The keto-friendly packages, the bentos that they're trying to put together, I think they're trying to market to just about everyone because you never know what type of person's going to walk in your door now.
Yeah, you've got to be
So you
friendly.
have to be sensitive almost about it and
Yeah.
understand there's gluten-free and soy-free and dairy-free and...
So let me ask you this from a perspective. I know why, because I'm a trainer. I say that I sounded funny when I said that, but
Sorry.
But as
don't hate you for that.
exactly. So as someone who is not a trainer but has now gotten to know her body well, why would we pick organic versus just something that's locally bought, which is a good thing to do, versus a regular store bought, like grocery store aisle foods? What do you think that would make a difference in your body? Because I think you eat as natural as you possibly can.
I do. At least I've tried with some of my new apps that I've got going on. Obviously, it's the processed foods. Even when you don't think there's pesticides or processing done to certain fruits or vegetables, there are
Hidden sugars.
Yes, just because it's to preserve on the shelf, right? So you never know really what these big box stores are putting in these things, that they look pretty or they look healthy, like some of the fruit drinks where it's a smoothie, right? The naked smoothie. Oh, I was doing one of those a day thinking it was perfect until I looked at the sugars and realized
30 or 40 grams of sugar.
that was probably the extra 3 pounds that I gained in
Yeah.
like a week.
Yeah.
So yeah, they fool you thinking it's all natural and no.
It's crazy that I'm not going to name names because that's not what we do here, but there is a place that you go to eat. It's supposed to be a natural food store. And it's not what you think, guys, but there's a couple of them here in Hawaii. And as I read the labels, they're meat protein foods. There was sugar in it. Like
Really?
they cook, like seriously, like when I would get something like, let's say a hamburger meatball or something, or chicken marsala mix or something that has some sauce to it. And I'm reading the content of how they're making it because they have to divulge what they put in it. It says sugar, corn syrup, in a meat type food. I'm like, why do people have to put sugar in protein when they're cooking?
Americans, we need sugar in everything.
No, because what that does is,
Everything.
if you don't realize this, sugar creates cravings. And when you consume something with sugar in it with a certain type of a taste, with tomato sauce and mix whatever, you crave that more. So every time you go back and you buy that food, you want that specific type of food. So they get you by adding sugar to regular, natural, organic, processed type food. And it just boggled my mind. So what you said is so true, and this is why I got so passionate about it, is because even if it's organic, you gotta read what you're buying, because you're gonna put on weight if you think you're eating healthy because you bought organic. Doesn't mean anything.
No, and it's really frustrating because they don't tell you that. So when you look at the back of labels and you're like, does that really have this much? You're like, okay, put it back, right?
Yeah.
And move on.
Right.
Where I used to do a lot of the Simons and the soups thinking it's a soup. How could it possibly be bad?
Oh, yeah.
The salt content and the retention of water that comes from that salt content
Yeah.
really kicked me in the butt about for a week as well. So it's the trial and error that helps the lifestyle choices stick. Really, because you know, okay, I did this at one point and it was not the good outcome that I wanted. So I'm going to try something else. And so it's really a lot of it for me, especially, is falling flat on my face and then learning from my failures.
Right.
But it sticks better in my head. And that's where it's a lifestyle choice and a change that I continue with for years.
Yeah, it's having that knowledge, everyone, is so important, because I know, that's why I asked a question, because I know it sounds like a silly question, but when you shop for food, they always say shop in the outside perimeter of a grocery store because that's where all the natural whole foods are. But even when you go into the aisles and you want to buy something organic or gluten-free, turn it around and see if they have any processed stuff in there that may be also detrimental to your system. It may also stop your body from assimilating it and letting your body absorb it. Because all of this stuff and the success of these guys isn't by accident. They did a lot of things correctly. A lot of the foods they consumed was whole foods. Like I said, initially they could probably cheat here and there, but when it came down to the last bit of them losing their weight, it really came down to honing in on the specifics, like how much sugar content is in this, how much carb content is in this. My brother at home doesn't eat carbohydrates. He eats vegetables, but he doesn't eat like your rice and the potatoes and stuff like
The
that.
simple carbs.
Yeah, simple carbs he will avoid. But he, he'll eat sauerkraut in the morning, first thing, with eggs and stuff. And I'm like, ooh, what, But and I'm in this industry, but he's more extreme than I am. But guess what? At 55, I think he's going to kill me if I said that wrong. I think he's 55. I'm sorry if I made that mistake. At his age, he looks better than most 20-year-olds. And he did that in 1 year too. Like, I should have had him on my show, because he took his body from being a little pudgy to being like hard rock arms with these massive, chest muscles, and his abs are all ripped, and it's incredible. And it's all a matter of science at that tail end of your dieting.
And what's best for you, right? Because every body is different. So you have to find your metabolism level. You have to figure out what foods work for you. If you have a lot of allergies, it makes it harder. There's a lot going on with when you have to diet, quote unquote. That's why I don't like dieting. I just make better choices.
Right.
I don't like to consider it a diet. I don't try the elimination of certain foods in order to lose weight, like some of the, the non-carb or the solid protein, or I just feel like my cravings that my body gives me is my body wanting something to stay healthy.
And if you're craving sugar, people, too, that means that you're not eating enough. There's something that you haven't fulfilled, that your body's craving sugar. It's wanting instant energy. So you obviously didn't eat soon enough, or you waited too long in between your foods, or you need to eat more calories. So depending on what's going on with you. Because if you're stressing out, just because if you don't work out and you're having a very stressful day, your body needs a little more calories. Just
M&Ms?
so that...
Not M&Ms.
Look, you're asking the wrong person. I'm the chocolate queen here, so it's kind of hard. But no, there is, again, time and a place for that too. I mean, not at night, but maybe you can sneak something like that in the morning.
Moderation.
Everything is moderation. So, holiday season, we're coming to the tail end of our interview. What goals are you going to set for yourself for the New Year's? Not New Year's resolution, but what are you going to do to better what you're doing right now?
Well, I need to continue the working out. I feel so much better just by adding that little piece of my workout in the morning. So I want to continue that, which means you have to find time for yourself. You have to breathe. The kids kind of have to stay back and give you your own time, even though it's small.
Schedule yourself in. That's a concept.
It is a concept, and it's hard.
Yeah.
When you've got distance learning and all these kinds of things going on where the world is not the way it used to be. Food is the hardest thing. It really is. The pastas and the cheeses, but I'm going to continue to try to eat more fruits and vegetables in the green zone, if you will, for some of these dieting apps, so that I can I got that last 10 pounds like you're talking about.
Yeah, it's to get that off is more specific.
Yeah. I don't have a sweet tooth anymore, so I think the holiday pies and stuff will be okay, but I will divulge in an M&M or two, just letting you know.
That's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. So here's the clincher, guys. It's a matter of, she said, it's a matter of being very specific for your lifestyle. I was told by someone a long time ago when I interviewed him, he was Jason Scott. He was really, really good, Jones. He actually said to me, I schedule myself in my day, every day, from 12 to 1. It doesn't matter who wants to see me. That 12 to 1 is my schedule. And I stick to that. And every single day he works out from 12 to 1, no matter what. And when one of his clients said, oh, I found out that you canceled our schedule because you went to go work out, he goes, no, that's my appointment with myself. That's more important to me than anything else. And that puts a certain perspective, right? Mm-hmm. So scheduling yourself in is one. Number two is, picking your poisons to a certain degree, but when you take those items in is also important. So, this is where she even understood it. She had to hire a trainer. James had his sister as a nutritionist. Having consulting with people who are professional in the industry of health and wellness and fitness is crucial, because we don't know what's going on with you physically. We don't know if you have diabetes, possibly, if you have thyroid issues, if you have hormone imbalances, if you're having a hiccup with your brain connecting to the body, if there's something happening in your gut that may be off balance where your body can't absorb certain nutrients. These types of things can help you if you talk to a professional, whether it's your medical doctor that knows your body better than you do, or someone who's in the realm of health practitioner. So that kind of stuff I do suggest strongly. But, I give kudos to all of you who try your best on your own, who've, like Gina and James, who've lost so much weight. Collectively together, they've lost a huge person.
Yes, I guess so when you think about it.
I mean, that's 190 pounds individual. I mean, that's a
lot.
That's a big boy coming through the door. So that's impressive. I want to say thank you very much, Gina, for sharing your story. And these are personal stories, guys. This isn't like a revolutionized show. This isn't about me saying, okay, X, Y, and Z. That takes a whole nother show to explain step by step on how to lose weight and how to get your body back into alignment. You guys can reach out to me at Be Fit for Health and do the contact page, and I can give you guys some ideas on what steps you need to take. But the new year is coming up. This year is gone. Thank God, right? We've all struggled with this pandemic. I'm hoping by June that this thing goes away with everyone doing their vaccinations and doing the right thing. And we'll be back to business as usual. And our stress levels will relax a bit for all of us. So please, please, please set some goals. Reach out to your professional, and, give yourself a break, because guess what? If you fall off the wagon, like you probably did, James did, it's okay, because you got tomorrow. Tomorrow's a new day. You can start over from scratch, not a problem. No one's judging you. You can do this. So remember, it's not a New Year's resolution. It's a new you lifestyle that you need to choose. So it's up to you. Okay, everyone? All right, so any other questions, you know how to reach out to me. I'm at befitforhealth.com. Thank you, Miss Gina, for coming into my studio and giving me your time, because I know, like I said, she's a busy lady, okay? She probably has to get in the car and drive for like an hour to take care of her kids right now. Sorry.
Don't remind me, thank you.
I know. All right, everyone, take care of yourself. It's going to be a great day, so enjoy the rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week for another great show. Take care of yourselves and be well. Aloha.
Thuggy.